1 against him, nothing else. 22. He should be dead.
Yep, he is absolutely, totally, and undeniably dead.
Okay, then I've got to reload and I'll get my grip point back. Give me a second.
Yeah, this particular fight, you're going to have no problems keeping your grit up.
Yep. Then I'm going to do 20 movement.
I'll be right back.
Because I think Sayara's probably got this.
You would have to end up doing more like this to get in there, so you'd only be able to get that far, because you would have to go to there first.
Yeah, I do. I'm good.
So you're done up there.
Shiny
Ready
buttons.
for your turn?
Yep, shiny buttons.
Alright, Spirit Guardians. Thank you! These goblins die. Oh, my job is easy. In this one, he runs down here. He sees his other buddies just kind of fell over. He looks around.
Bye.
He realizes he's kind of fucked.
Take another step. Do it.
Pulls out his bow. He takes a shot. He crits. Doing 10 damage.
I keep it up.
He sees that you keep it up. He sighs. He rolls terribly on his wisdom. He steps forward, killing himself.
Oh, goblins.
Alright. So this goblin gonna run over the boxes over here. Running up there. Running on the boxes. Running on the boxes. Gang pie. Gang up on the single person because there's apparently 4 lilies.
That's scary, you know.
It is scary. Though there's 4 of them and 1 of her. They kind of like having a number advantage. So attack, miss, 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 and hit for 5 slashing damage.
Does it actually hit her or the image?
They're all attacking Ione.
Oh.
Alright.
So there's gobbies over here?
Yep, there's gobbies over there.
I assume you guys have that so I can check out the rooms down here, maybe? I don't know.
Alright. That'll be it for Goblin turn. So next up is Cassie's turn. I don't know if... Reese, you there? Pick the damage out for her, please. I said 5.
Okay.
Yep.
5.
Or catch it.
Alright, next up, because Cassie just moved closer to the glass door up on the deck. Next up is Ciara's turn then.
Oh.
That was all melee.
Would I think that there's something over here?
You know that's where a number of goblins came from, but you don't really know what's over there without taking a look.
Alright. I'll do... Ah. I was there. I'm just trying to do it right because it screwed up on me. 15, 25, 30. I can get there.
Yep, and as you get up here and you look around, you realize that all these rooms up here, and all the doors are open, by the way, all the rooms up here appear to be, you would assume, passenger bedrooms, because these are far too fancy to be the crew bedrooms. You didn't actually see the VIP room. It's nowhere near as fancy as that. Like, they're actually decently small, but you could understand that people would pay decent amounts of money to travel in these. It's not first class to be second class.
All right, and screw it. I'll be a good person. Dash back.
Well, why don't you keep dashing and kill any goblins that are stragglers?
Oh yeah, good point. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. There were none.
Yep.
I'm back. Sorry about that. It's raining, so I had to get
All right.
something outside.
Yep. All right. And that'll be it for Ciara's turn. Next up is Azul's. And if you all want to scroll up to look at Azul, Azul will run into the captain's room using 10 feet of movement, and she'll see a few goblins. She's going to run up there and stab one.
Or Thunderwave.
Yeah, she could Thunderwave. She's going to stab them. Because she's looking over, and this object right here, which you should be able to see now with the map on her, is the map. So I'm going to get more into details on that when the full party can see it again and explain it fully, and that is a goblin dead. She's going to move over here, stab the other one, and that is another goblin dead. And I think she has enough movement to get to here. And she's going to see a last goblin who is bouncing on the captain's bed. But she can't do anything against them yet. Lily's turn.
She can give it bardic inspiration.
She's going to tell him how to bounce right. Lily's turn.
That is very inspiring. Lily is going to reckless attack. Because, I mean, why not? The one directly above her.
Yeah, at this point, you're literally on cleanup duty.
Take another step, and the one to the right of Lily.
Okay.
And, you know what? She's going to... How many feet did I do? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, she's going to attempt to take an attack of opportunity.
He's not going to turn down an attack of opportunity. And what I got to roll? Level 4? Below
D20.
4?
That's... Yeah, I'll just roll the thing.
So that should be a goblin, or a mirror image dead.
Yeah. So...
Mirror image dead?
Did he hit?
He hit the mirror image.
Okay.
So that's a mirror image gone. So you did not get the riposte.
Hey. Let's see, what was my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can't have moved back. Alright. So that's where I am. That's my turn.
And next up is Ione.
One above me.
Okay.
Once it loads. Load, damn it.
Alright, that'll hit. Dealing enough damage to kill him.
Just a little bit of
To
frostbite.
the left of me.
And that will... How do you want to do this? How do you want to do this?
Finally!
There's still technically one other goblin left, but he's... we're not worried about him.
Just aim for a throat.
So you're just going to stab right through his throat?
Yep.
Alright, so you take the frostbite and you just stab straight forward, catching him right through the throat, and he kind of staggers backwards as you pull out. He's grasping at his throat. He's unable to breathe. His esophagus completely frozen over. There is no passage for his air. So beyond the blood, which is also frozen, by the way, he's gasping for air and eventually just falls over dead.
Do you have to be so brutal? No, I'm kidding.
And my movement? I'm just gonna scout up for rooms.
Alright, so and while that's going on, give me one particular moment. I'm going to turn back on Global Illumination. I'm going to go over to the dynamic lighting layer, and I'm going to get rid of all of the dynamic lighting.
Or you can just disable dynamic lighting on that.
I wanted to get rid of all the walls.
So that we can just go straight through them.
So that, yeah, so you can see entirely what's going on at this point, because the ship is pretty much done. Ione and Shiki will do their own things. Cassidy will eventually join in, and then Azul will, the goblins have 1 point to attack. So the goblin will try to attack Azul, would miss. Azul would go in there with the Sunblade and finish off this last goblin. And the ship is fully taken over at this point, and I don't really want to cause much more issues. At this point, you don't really need these white doors.
Step and thump.
Actually, those are kind of helpful to see where the doors are, because they're really
Actual doors are, yeah.
Yeah.
That's not what I want to grab. Yeah, that's why I put them in there to begin with, because I knew, especially with dynamic lighting, it would be difficult. Where?
Yeah. I think it's more important to have them there without dynamic lighting.
Yeah, that's probably a good point as well. All right, so at this point, you can all kind of mosey around. You're probably all going to end up back on the top of the ship.
I think Shiki's going to stay down here.
Shiki's going to stay down there in the...
I'm going to spend the last set of time I have with the Spirit Guardians up to just do a big once around the ship to make sure there's no gobbies left.
All right.
Lily's going to stick with Shiki.
All right.
And not touch anything because Shiki probably won't let her.
All right, so let's start off. I'm going to get rid of initiative order because we are done with that, because combat is officially done in this particular area now. So this ship, I'm going to start off with Shiki and Lily. The room you're in currently, it's this little, there's actually metal on this room. There's 2 panels, one either side. And if you look above you, there's some, a big contraption on the ceiling, which would go directly into the room above you, or not the room above you, the ceiling be directly below the deck above you, and you can guess that this is probably the engine room, for lack of a better term, of the ship.
But a lot of us wouldn't know what an engine room is.
That's actually a very excellent point, because none of the characters, like, you have not seen ships like this before, so you wouldn't know exactly what it is. At best, you can tell that this is obviously something important with the ship.
Well,
So, Shiki, you can roll an investigation, and Lily may do so as well with disadvantage.
Lily has been on board a ship, so she's talked with the
This is
captain there.
nothing like a ship that she would be used to.
Eh? Oh wait, can I use bardic inspiration for that?
You may.
Yeah.
So what is it for?
D8.
D8.
Oh.
I was just saying to negate
Yeah.
the disadvantage, but yeah.
Yeah. Lily doesn't know anything, and Shiki, the more you look at this, the more... Actually, do you have a tinkering check?
I do have tinkering.
Was that your, are you, like, proficient in it? Or is
I'm
there...
efficient. I'm efficient in. Do you want me to use my int version of tinkering instead?
Yeah, because I don't think you're actually proficient in investigation.
No, it'd be.
Yeah, so what's your proficiency bonus, actually?
3.
Oh,
3, so that would have put you to 11, put you to 14. I'll allow 14 to get some details. Shiki,
Okay.
however this ship works, and you're going to have to spend a decent bit of time to figure that out, but however it works, you can tell that this is the source of it. Like, there's a lot of knobs, a lot of settings. They're not written in common. They... Like, you might need help to decipher what exactly they're saying, though if you look around the ship, you might be able to find some people to do that, and
What are they
considering
written
what has been said, at least Lily might get the feeling that Azul might be able to read it if this is what they think it is.
in? What language is it written in?
It's actually written in, I can't think of it. It's not Aquan, it's not... What's the...
Risu, your mic.
Yeah, Risu.
I was not
Alto,
expecting that.
it's one of the primordial languages. What's the language of air?
Okay. Air.
It's primordial in it's Orin normally.
Orin, that's what it is. It's written in Orin. The languages are actually different, but they're more just like they're different dialects and explicitly separate languages. So it would be like, say, English between the United States, Australia, and England versus English and Spanish.
So this one says trousers. This one says pants.
It's something more to that effect, where it's just a different dialect instead of a wholly different
That's
language. So if you understand one language, you could probably make sense of the others.
Well, we're probably just gonna have to translate these and write everything in common.
Well, I got no
Orin's the
idea.
spelling. Let's go with that. Sayara, as you wander around the ship and explore it, I'm gonna get rid of your aura right now, by the way. As you go around the ship and explore it, it's kind of been ransacked a little bit, but nothing's particularly been taken. As you explore the ship, you get a decent feeling of how this is supposed to be. Obviously, ship's hold, there are there's just lifeboats, which you can kind of see the sides of the ship are supposed to open up, though it's obviously blocked by trees and what have you, so it can't really open up properly to allow these boats out on the side. Back here on the rear of the lower deck, you can see that there's 6 beds. You can assume this would be for normal crew members. A kitchen back here, probably for crew members or anyone who needs to eat. This right here is a staircase up to the upper deck, the blue line connecting to the blue line on the top deck. 4 ballistas on other points. This right here on the top of the deck, by the way, you see the 2 prong arms coming out on the sides. That is the exact same thing coming up, pointing up. So same orientation, same setup otherwise, as though when it's running that ring of fire is supposed to go all the way around it. There'd also be one on the bottom, though you might need to check to see if that one survived the crash.
All right.
This up front, again, was supposed to be the front of the ship. You don't... Like, the ship itself, you couldn't actually see the name of it as you came around it, but in the captain's quarters, you can see that on this wall here, next to where Ione is, there was a name listed on it, Cloud's Destiny. I'm just going to go with what this actually is. Don't worry about the rest of the other stuff too much. Let's see what else to go with. The VIP room, first mate, boatswain's room. Nothing else particularly of note. The fanciest thing is obviously going to be the engine room.
Yeah.
Want to go into a little bit with the map, because Azul is going to be looking it over currently, just messing around with a few of the knobs and everything else on it as Cassie just kind of watches, not really sure what she can do.
I've got no idea you work there.
I'll say that as she goes around, considering I am literally spent on everything except channel divinities, I am extremely tired. So let's join you guys here, I guess. That bed looks comfy, though.
So Azul, like, around this point, she's back. The map itself, it's just a whirling mass of multicolored sand. It's not actually really doing anything. You could move your hand in it and just move the sand side to side. Azul gets down on her knees and she reaches underneath the table looking around. She thinks for a second and then finds something that the goblins messed with when they were in here, and you hear something snap almost as she pushes it back into place, and in an instant this bed of sand, like sandbox in front of you, starts to move on its own, once more forming into, for those of you that have seen a map of the world, a complete map of the known world. Like, Cassidy will pull out the map that has been marked with these signs of with the various sigils that you've divined, and just hold it out to comparison. This is an identical map. The only differences is that obviously it's color coded. The sands are blue where there's water, green where there's forest, white where there's all that stuff, brown on mountains. But it's also three-dimensional. The mountains poke up out.
Ooh.
And where there are ravines, the sand is dipped down in a ravine.
Poke.
Cool.
Poke. Poke. Sorry.
I'll look at that later.
Yeah,
And Azula's just kind of looking it over a little bit, and she's thinking for a second as she pokes one of the areas up in the air, wondering if it's completely working right.
Oh, the floating island.
Yeah. For those of you who are aware of, I've heard of where it's supposed to be, you do realize that she's poking in probably the last area it's been reported to be.
It hasn't moved.
As it for stands, there is no actual indication on the map to where it is. Azul will kind of think for a moment and she'll say, maybe it's just because it's not on the land?
What are you looking
Who
for?
knows?
That floating island, it should be around here, but I don't know.
Wait. The floating island?
And Azul will nod.
Perhaps there's a trigger for what is actually detected as being on the map. Connection with the ley lines, perhaps.
That's possible. I think, well, we know where it's at. I mean, we could always just check in nearby villages, and she'll look around the ship for a moment and just think, I think we should get the ship working again.
Yeah, probably.
I can do it. As she says, she pulls out a blowtorch.
Well, we'll need to figure out exactly how it works in the first place. I'm sure I don't really know how the airships were supposed to work.
Can we worry about that later, though?
Yeah, we probably need to rest after all of that.
But I want to get to work.
Well, you're free to go work on it for a little bit, but some of us will need to rest and everything else. And Azul will look around. Me and Cassie could probably use a bit of healing on ourselves and keep watch. I'm sure there are a lot of nice beds here.
No. I can take watch. I didn't even get touched that whole fight.
And then Azul and Cassie went out. Okay, you can keep rest the entire time, and then once we're fully rested, we can keep watch while you rest. Because I don't think there's any reason we need to go back to town right now.
Just a quick question. I may have found some strange devices downstairs. I can't read what's on them.
We can go down and take a look. I might be able to figure that out.
Yeah, can you just write down what all of them mean?
I'm
Azul
bad at
nod.
languages,
Say that would
so-
probably take some time.
I'm a moron. I should have done that.
Done what?
I'm just looking at my spell list, and Sanctuary is a bonus action that doesn't require concentration.
It doesn't require
That would have been very useful with that T-Rex. To be
Yeah.
honest, that's actually very useful for any life cleric if you're not going to be casting. Actually, it's when you cast any heal or any spell, it wears off, isn't it?
I
Or is it just
believe
offensive?
so.
But that still would have been very nice to not have to deal with the T-Rex.
If it attacks or casts a spell that affects an enemy creature, it ends. But I already had that spell up, so I'm not casting it.
Yeah,
Fine.
so actually,
Basic.
you would have been completely fine.
It's fine. It's fine. It's
Yeah, I know. It's just
done. Is done.
hindsight
Yeah.
2020.
Besides, we got to make a Sayara turn into a T-Rex, so I think that's a victory in everyone's book. All right, so at this point, I figure you're going to go around and gather up what's important. The other goblin boss was right next to the ship. I figure you're going to pull him onto it and take a look at what he has, along with this particular goblin boss. Cassie will say... Yeah, Cassie, I'm going to say will run off and grab the apparatus and at least get it next to the ship.
Sayara's going to go straight to the comfy bed that she saw.
There are a lot of comfy beds, to be honest, so which one should go into first?
The VIP one.
Okay, so yeah, Sayara can just run right to the VIP one and go down and rest. And it's...
sword.
Alright.
Ione,
Is
did you
Ione...
Did you say you can cook?
Yes, I need your sword.
You want my sword to cook?
To cut parts off,
I'm going to say this will be before Cassie runs off, and she'll hand over the scimitar, saying that she'll probably have better luck with a smaller sword.
Yeah, it's a really big sword.
I might need it.
Yeah, well, Cassie will leave her
Alright.
scimitar there for the moment anyway, and will eventually return with the apparatus. It's just going to be parked next to it for the time being. Now then, if you're looking over for the various loots, there's nothing really left in the ship worth taking. You actually do find there are 2 greater healing potions, which are on the ship boss's person, which makes sense considering you used one. Both of the goblin bosses, though, have matching gauntlets, which you can look at them and you realize very quickly that they are magical. In fact, I believe at least Lily and who else was there with them? I think Cassie was there with them. But Lily will recognize the gauntlets anyway as something she's seen before as gauntlets of ogre strength, which kind of explains how these goblins were hitting as strong as they were. At least these 2. As she looks over them otherwise, she picks out both their weapons. That lance is also, as she can tell, like Lily holding it, she can just tell with her time smithing that this is indeed magical as well. And as is the mace that the other one was using. I'm going to say Azul will spend some time identifying them before she gets fully into her rest. The lance is just a +2 lance. Obviously, the gauntlets are gauntlets of ogre strength. The mace, however, is a mace of smiting, I believe. Let me double check. Goblin ship boss has a mace of smiting. Yes.
Is the lance a two-hander?
The lance is a interesting weapon, actually. It is two-handed, yes. It is normally two-handed. Let me put it that way. The lance is its +2 weapon. It is a 1d12 piercing damage. It has reach, and it's got special rules.
Yeah.
The lance, you have disadvantage if you attack a target within 5 feet of you, and the lance requires 2 hands to wield it, except if you're mounted. If you're mounted, you can use it one-handed, which is why he had a T-Rex. Actually, he could have done that with a warg, but I decided to give him a T-Rex.
Yeah.
The Mace of Smiting, though, is a
I
much
know
more
exactly
interesting
what it is,
weapon,
and I'm already-
as Azul will explain it a little bit regardless of what you know.
Yeah.
The Mace of Smiting, let me get to the right page, make sure. Page. This page. Azul will explain, this weapon it's meant to just smite, not so much as, like, zombies or undead, but it's meant to smite constructs in buildings. Doing a lot more damage against those particular things. Layman's terms, it has a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls. It's a magical weapon. This bonus increases to +3 if you're attacking a construct. Furthermore, if you roll a 20 on an attack made with this weapon, the target will take an extra 7 damage, or an
2d6.
extra 4. No, it's an extra 7.
Oh, the one that
Or
I
an
saw was D6. Alright.
Or you're looking at the Mace of Disruption, which is against undead.
No, this is Mesa Smiting under the SRD.
I'm reading straight out of the book.
SRD is probably wrong.
Probably.
Or an extra 14 damage if you're attacking a construct and you roll a 20. Furthermore, if a construct has 25 hit points or fewer after it takes this damage, I'm assuming from the crit, not the natural 20, it is destroyed.
Okay.
And it does not require attunement.
Nope.
All right.
Not sure who would use the lance the best. Like,
I don't think there's anyone who could really effectively use the lance in this particular
No.
party currently.
yeah, we.
So I'm
kind
figuring
of,
at this point, like Azul maybe mentioned, like let's just mount it or something as a prize.
or sell it. Probably make a
Yeah, we
lot
could
from
sell
it.
it too.
Or we could turn Cassidy into a mount and have Lily ride.
Yeah, one-handed though. It's not optimal.
True.
I mean, I could
It's
two-handed.
not. Yeah,
but-
technically, it's not listed as a two-handed weapon, but so you'd have to use it with two hands for that bonus. I think that's how it works. If you use the weapon two-handed, you get the bonus.
Yeah, I have to. It has to be any weapon that you can use with two hands, like a dagger. You cannot two-hand it.
I'm just going to test to see if I have this up right.
All right. Further, the other reason why Lily would be more apprehensive is it's a D12 instead of 2D6. So otherwise, she doesn't get quite as much of a bonus. You probably could find a knight or someone to sell it to because a knight would be really interested in that type of a weapon. All right. Whoop! I dropped that. So Ione, roll some survival checks for me, by the way.
Ion's not here. Let me.
Of course she isn't. We're not going to worry about that until she gets back then.
Okay.
All right.
I like how
Yeah. You broke up there, Alto.
I said I like how testing the Mesa Smiting I still rolled.
Nice.
Lots of ones.
All right then. So yeah, Azul will go down there, and Azul, looking over the engine room there, she'll realize very quickly that that is indeed what's Aaron? Alran. Alran. Yeah, very quickly that it is Alran, and she'll pull out some parchment and start writing down what the translation is for every particular knob and thing for Shiki to help her figure it out. And she'll look around, just looking at the thing itself, trying to figure out exactly how it works. Shiki, with the instructions Azul has written down, you may roll another. I'll give you another tinkering check for this, and you would do so with advantage.
Okay. Does she also want to give me bardic? Sing for me. Sing for me.
She'll wave her tail. It's the last time she can do it.
I'm inspired.
Roll it anyway.
Yeah,
It
might
wouldn't
as,
hurt
You're not
It
going to be
would
able to
never
use it any other time soon.
yeah.
any other time, yeah. So you might as well. All right, so 28. Shiki, you've probably spent some time toying around with ideas like magnets and all that stuff with a few of your various toys, and as you look at this more and more, you get the feeling that it works on a very similar property. Like as though it's using magical energy to replicate magnetism.
To repel it, so to repel itself upwards.
And like looking around, you can see that there are indications or indicators for the three focusing irises. And as you stop and think about that for a moment, you begin to wonder, perhaps could those three rings that you've seen on the end of the arms that are hanging out from it be a focusing iris?
Now, with that information, is it possible for me to figure out how to maybe get this thing going? Like, just to propel it upwards?
All right, roll an investigation this time.
Oh. That's not good. That's not going to be good then.
Yeah. So the investigation, you can see that this is damaged a little bit. As you look at it more, you get the feeling that you could it would take you maybe an hour or two to get used to exactly how the settings work and get it to work properly. It actually might take more like 3 or 4 hours. But you get the feeling that you could at least get it airborne. Maybe not too high, but you could probably get it airborne.
Azul, I'm going to do something really... Oh, wait, you said the console's damaged?
The console itself is not damaged. The ship, however, is. Yeah, and you're probably I'm gonna say you're gonna spend probably a good 2-3 hours examining the ship as a whole to come to this point.
Mhm.
And as you do, you're gonna be able to look around. You find there's a lot of like, I'm essentially gonna say conduit, just pieces linking all along the walls of the ship up to where this engine core is, and several of them go back along the